Hello everyone. This video is about how to build up reading. A survey was conducted about of 1,000 people, and the survey revealed that all of them had one quality in common, and that was an amazing reading habit. Ultra successful people of this world are also avid readers. To name a few, Warren Buffett reads around 400 to 500 pages in a day, which constitutes about 70 to 80% of his time. Elon Musk has been a voracious reader right from the childhood. Bill Gates manages to read 50 books in a year. Reading is a practice that has been there since time immemorial. But in today's times, due to technological revolution, fast-paced life, reading has taken a backseat. Be it students, children, adults, everybody prefers electronic gadgets to reading these days. Why should one read? I feel books are the most constant and wisest of the friends, easily accessible counselors, and the most patient mentors. Who all should read? Actually, there is no targeted audience for reading books. Anyone and everyone, irrespective of qualification, age, status, religion, community, class, must read. I personally feel to be successful in life, the most important quality that a person should possess is wisdom. And to acquire wisdom, reading is the best source. How reading makes someone wise? Let's understand the benefits of reading. Clear cut, there are major health benefits also. When I say health benefits, if a person is reading consistently, it gets a lot of stimulation, which is kind of intellectual stimulation, and it's a workout for the brain. And when the brain has a workout and it is actively charged all the time, then people don't suffer from any stress, and it also prevents depression. So these are some of the health benefits. Apart from this, how reading helps in acquiring wisdom, let's try to understand the advantages. I would like to say when a person is reading, he or she sets a target to read something. To read something with focus actually makes him go through something for an elongated period of time. And when someone is reading with focus over elongated period of time, nothing is going to stop him from solidifying that concept in the mind. So focused reading, getting a concept is the goal, and both these things would lead on building up a perspective. So the reader slowly starts building on the perspective about a concept because he has a 360-degree perspective. When you weigh pros and cons from all sides, when you build up a perspective, obviously it results into a thought-provoking attitude. Thought-provoking is becoming like reflective. When someone is reflective, that means he is giving considerable thought to something, then gradually the analytical skills also start honing up and building up. All these things together constitute critical thinking. Critical thinking is the most important trait that a person should possess in today's time, because rationality is the core to right decision making. Let's understand what exactly is critical thinking. When you get an all-round perspective and your thought process is stimulated, then you should think in a rational manner, and that is objective thinking. Objective thinking means thinking without any biases, prejudices, or personal preferences. So this objective thinking without personal emotions, with all the rationales, is critical thinking. and this is your base to acquire wisdom. So while reading, when we are developing critical thinking, also incidentally what is happening, your hold and command over language. You are getting enough enhancement of word power as well as comprehension skills. So when language building happens, critical thinking happens, what is incidental here? What is the resultant here? The resultant is having a huge expanse of knowledge. Expanse of knowledge with language building and critical thinking would give a major confidence boost to a person, and he will be on the next level of self-esteem. You're growing into a mature person. The next thing would be to express, to communicate yourself. So when you get this power of expression in the form of written or verbal communication, and you're able to convince others with logical reasoning because you have done your research, because you're well read, then the conviction results into whatever goal or target you had set for reading. So when the self-esteem is high, the research is done, you're able to convince people to get the desired result. Overall, the personality is groomed very well. How did this personality shape? When the reading was happening, the conscious reading, the focused reading was happening, the brain was getting developed. The brain was becoming inquisitive, and the reader had a lot of questions in mind which got the answers. So when one gets the answers to the questions, intellectual stimulation happens, overall personality is groomed, and you start becoming aware and knowledgeable. Now let's come to a situation that yes, reading is important, yes, reading is useful, I don't like reading, then how do I benefit from it? Because I have to start from the scratch. How do I inculcate this habit of reading? It's not so easy. The first excuse which everyone would give, I don't find time in life. Dear audience, you don't have to find time in life, you have to make time for everything. So that's your first step to inculcate any habit. There has to be making time, and you have to have a deep willingness to start, to learn. Nothing can be achieved if you're not willing to do that. So the first step in inculcating the habit of reading would be to have willingness. Once you're willing to do it, the next step would be to set a goal. Setting a goal will require identification of a purpose. Why do I want to read? What is the benefit that I'm going to get from reading? You need to be clear about it. Do you want academic growth or a professional growth or a spiritual growth? You need to have clarity. Why do you want to read? Once that purpose is there, the goal is established, after that, please create a conducive environment to reading. Since you're starting to inculcate a habit, the right kind of environment is very, very important. It's going to start with selecting the right kind of books. When I say kind of books, you want to read the book with a hardboard copy, you want to read an e-book, or you want to read an audio book. It all depends on your liking, on your interests. So decide on the kind of book that you wish to read, and then where do you wish to read. The ambience is very, very important in the beginning till the time you become an avid reader. Choose a place where you find solace, where you find peace. You might like vibrancy, you might like tranquility. Decide, select the place and start reading from there. Once the purpose is set, the environment is set, now you have to start. When I say start, you have to decide what exactly to read, what kind of a book you want to read, whether it's a fiction, non-fiction, self-help, which kind of a book you want to start with. After that, once you decide on the book, then finalize a pattern or format. As I told you in the beginning, make time, decide how much of time in a day you can spend on reading. Howsoever busy schedule anyone has, 45 to 50 minutes everybody can take out in a day if you are persistent enough. Once the timing is decided, the book is decided, decide on what is your current reading speed, words per minute, and what is your aspirational reading speed, that is words per minute. An average reader, not an avid reader, mind you, would have 80 to 100 words per minute speed, which ideally should be 200 to 250 words per minute. So that should be your aspiration. So when you decide on everything, decide a closure date of the book, whether you want to complete in 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, based on your time available. It should never feel like a burden. Reading should be made pleasure by making it an enjoyable and a transformational activity. Then only you will be able to derive the benefit out of it. Once everything is set, you decide to read and you start reading also. Once you are done with the reading, then you should actually log it. Keep a tracker. You log the book that you have read, and on the tracker, which can be on the Excel sheet, you can just make a list of the books that you have read. And if you really find something interesting to your choice, you can even blog it. You can even review that book and share it with others. Mind you, this is not an easy task. At times, you'll have to bribe yourself. You'll have to barter probably that, okay, I'll not have my evening coffee or snack till I read 30 pages at least. Something like that initially is required to give you a push to inculcate the habit of reading. Nothing comes easy, and if you don't read properly, when I say properly, let's say you're simply skimming and scanning the book, the purpose is defeated. There's no learning out of it. Hence, reading has to be focused reading, and gradually you will have to build on the way you are comprehending what the author is trying to say. Avoid assuming things on your own. Try to comprehend what precisely the author wants to convey. Then the purpose is met. When you are inculcating this habit, what should you read? What should one read exactly? Well, since there are diverse topics, there are numerous genres available, I would not like to force you on reading any particular genre. Focus on your areas of interest and try to read whatever appeals to you. But yes, I would recommend certain good reads to you all. All-time favorites are like the books written by Malcolm Gladwell. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell is one of the favorites. One of the best sellers is The Goal, written by Eliyahu Goldratt. Classics like The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, these are also some of the books which you should read. So decide on what you want to read. I would only recommend that develop this habit. It's always a win-win situation for everyone who reads well, who comprehends well, who is able to express well. Read those evergreen books which give lot of insight. So get going with reading and add the creative, imaginative touches to your life. Happy reading. Thank you.